Can you really make $1,000 a day as a handyman? Well, the truth is, welcome back to the channel, folks. So, can you really make $1,000 a day as a handyman? Big question mark. And the real answer is, it depends. It depends on lots of factors. One of the biggest things it depends on is your definition of handyman. Right up here someplace, I'll have a link to a video that I did a couple years ago about the difference between a handyman and contractor. There's a lot of people running around calling themselves handymen who are actually doing contractor work and saying that they're making $1,000 a day. And as a contractor, you should be. But are they really handymen? That's what you got to look at. That will determine how easily you are going to make $1,000 a day. So what is a handyman? Well, the Oxford language says a handyman is a person able or employed to do occasional domestic repairs or minor renovations. Wikipedia says a handyman is also known as a fixer, handy person, or handy worker. Is a person skilled at a wide range of repairs, typically around the home. Never heard it's called that. Finally, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines handyman as, where is it at? There it is. They have two definitions. One, a person who does odd jobs. Or number two, one competent in a variety of small skills, or inventive or ingenious in repair or maintenance work. I like number two. So there you go. Let's compare that to what a contractor is. And there again, I had that video a couple years ago telling the definition. Definition of a contractor and Merriam-Webster is one that contracts or is a party to a contract, such as one that contracts to perform work or provide supplies, one that contracts to erect buildings, something such as a muscle that contracts. Well, that doesn't. So there's a big difference between handyman and contractor, and I think some of these people calling themselves handyman are probably, and saying they're making $1,000 a day, are probably doing it to get away from being labeled as a contractor, probably something to do with their state laws or something like that. Besides, it's cool when you say, the contractor tells you he's making $1,000 a day, you go, yeah, you're supposed to, you're a contractor, right? Where a handyman, it just sounds cool if you say, oh, I'm a handyman, I'm making $1,000 a day. Sounds cool. So now we know the definitions, and let me take the glasses off, of a handyman versus contractor. So now that we've got that defined, can a handyman really make $1,000 a day? Because if you're doing construction, renovation, remodeling and stuff, you should be making that kind of money. But that's really not handyman work. Handyman work is basically general repairs around the home. Are you going to make $1,000 a day changing light fixtures out, changing sink fixtures, replacing doorknobs? Probably not. More than likely not. You could. Typically, when I make $1,000 a day, it's because I'm doing multiple things at the same house. The other thing you'll find with some of these people claiming to be making $1,000 a day is that it's really them and their crews making $1,000 a day. And that $1,000 a day is usually gross. It's not net. So that makes a big difference, because people entering this business think, oh my gosh, everybody's making $1,000 a day. And then when they get in and they're only making $300, $400, $500 a day, they think there's something wrong with them. You know, I worked 10 hours. I replaced 3 sink fixtures yesterday and fixed a dripping faucet outside and replaced 2 light fixtures. And I only made $531. And what's wrong, you know? It's tough, especially if you have to travel between jobs. So if you're not making $1,000 a day as a true handyman, don't sweat it. If you want to make $1,000 a day, start taking on remodeling projects, large painting projects. If I make 1,000 a day, I'm usually doing one of those things. I may be painting 2 rooms, 3 rooms, whatever, hallway, whatever, ceilings, whatever. I don't work 8 hours a day, hardly. If I work 8 hours a day, something's wrong. Something's bad wrong. And then there's usually extra charge. I try to work about 6 hours a day. I didn't get in this business to see how long or how much I could work. So my home inspection business, I had more $1,000 a day as a home inspector than I did handyman. I knew that coming into this business. So anyway, if you're new or you've been at this while and you're just getting bummed out because you see all these people claiming to be making $1,000 a day as a handyman, just remember, most of them are doing construction, contracting type work. So don't get bummed out if you're only making $300, $400, $500 a day. You know, and you say, well, I'd like to make $1,000 a day. If you want to make $1,000 a day, take up remodeling, renovation, construction type work. Because it's going to be a long road to $1,000 if you're just replacing light fixtures, leaking sinks and that type of stuff. And remember, a lot of these people have crews, so you know, by the time they get to their net is probably what yours is or less. So anyway, you know, I seen just the other day somebody just fretting, well, I can't make $1,000 a day. I tried and I tried. You know, if you're trying to do this by hourly, oh man, you're good luck. You know, if you want $1,000 a day, you're going to have a daily rate. You don't have to have a daily rate, but it's going to help if you have a daily rate. And say, you know, I want to make $1,000 a day. Well, break your day out into how many jobs you have. Don't fret over it. Do what you can do and be happy with the money you're making. If you want to make that $1,000 a day, then you're going to have to move up into, like I said, the renovations, remodeling. And I'm just going to leave that at that. That's where the money's at. The contractor. And like I said, I think of some of them that are calling themselves handyman, who are actually doing construction work, are doing so. Either they don't know the true definition of handyman, or it's to try to walk that fine line between handyman and contractor, which isn't really fine if you ask me. But anyway, just keep that in mind. Don't be all bummed out next time you see somebody says, "Oh, I made $1,000 a day as a handyman." You know, take that with a grain of salt. Ask how many people I had, and ask them what kind of work it was on, because to make $1,000 a day as a handyman, changing light fixtures and sink fixtures and fixing leaks and stuff, that's going to be a very long day, folks. So anyway, just a quick video I wanted to get out to y'all, because a lot of y'all are getting bummed out because you can't make you're not making $1,000 a day. Take it with a grain of salt. Everybody says that, you know, it's like the old, you know, people says, I can drive 1,500 miles in one day. Seriously? I used to drive, so we always knew that was BS. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Help the channel out by liking and subscribing, and click below someplace and leave a comment. You making $1,000 a day? What are you doing to make $1,000 a day? If you're a true handyman, I know some of y'all out in California are limited by, $500 per job or some ridiculous stuff like that. How many of y'all are making $1,000 a day in California? So anyway, like and subscribe. Got any questions? Post them down below. Donald, Blue Collar DIY. Check out the blog, bluecollardiy.com. Catch you on the next video.